Hi there, this is Mrs. Williams, and this is question 2.1.f-3. And the question says the numbers 157 over 50, 28 over 9, 22 over 7, 19 over 6, and 63 over 20 are all reasonable approximations to the number pi, which is the largest approximation, which is the smallest approximation. So you answer largest and smallest, and they have the fractions in a different order, but they're the same fractions. So we really just have to figure this out one time and then see which one's the largest and which one's the smallest. So this question is really a comparing fractions question, and in order to compare fractions, what you want to do is get the same denominator. So I'm just going to look at the answer choices down here just because I have a little room to work, and I'm going to take all these fractions and convert them so that they have the same denominator. So in order to do that, the easiest way is to just take all of the denominators and multiply them all together. You get a big number, but that's all right. We can do it. And if I multiply all those numbers together, 9, 7, 20, 50, and 6, the denominator for all of these fractions ends up as 8,316,000. So that's a big denominator. And what we're going to do then, because we've changed the denominator, we multiplied it by so answer choice A, for example, we took the 9 and we multiplied it by 7, 20, 50, and 6. And in order to keep this fraction the same as what it started out as, is 28 over 9, we have to multiply the numerator by those same numbers. So I'm not going to multiply it by the 9 because we didn't multiply. You got to think about, okay, what did we multiply the denominator by? What did we multiply 9 by? Well, we only multiplied it by 7, 20, 50, and 6. So I'm going to multiply the 28 by 7, 20, 50, and 6, if I can squeeze it in there. And if I do that, I end up with a numerator of 1,176,000. Okay, and it's kind of tedious, but once you get the hang of it, it's not a real difficult process. So let me do one more for you. Let's do answer choice B. So in order to convert 22 over 7, in order to compare it, we need to get a common denominator. Now, we should end up with this same number in the denominator, because what we're going to do is we're going to take 7 and multiply it by the other denominators, which is the same thing that we did in part A, just in a different order. But we know that we're going to get the same final result, and so our denominator here would still be 8,316,000. In the numerator, though, we have to think about, okay, what would I multiply 22 by? Well, I didn't multiply, I don't want to multiply it by 7, I want to multiply it by the 9, the 20, the 50, and the 6. All the denominators, all the numbers in the other denominators is another way to say that. And if I do that, I end up with 1,188,000. There we go. Okay, and so I'm going to continue that process for C, D, and E. Okay, so here are the final fractions, now that I got them all to have this same common denominator. And so we can figure out which is the largest and which is the smallest by looking at the numerators and just seeing which has the smallest numerator or the largest numerator. So it just so happens that these are, it's kind of funny that the smallest numerator ends up being on the left and the largest ends up being on the right. I think that's just a coincidence, but the other ones in the middle are not in order. But anyway, the denominator up here is smaller than any of the other 4 denominators, and this denominator is larger. So this would be our answer for the smallest, and this would be the largest. So it looks like the student had that one correct. That is the largest approximation, and we would answer A for the smallest approximation. I hope that helps. Let me know if you have further questions.